Hello, good day, whatever time of the day it is for you. It is actually noontime here. It's almost 1 o'clock. Where I'm at, got up early this morning and I was looking at Instagram videos. I was just trying to somehow, some way, some reason I feel out of sorts. Um, Concerning like my not my motivation, but my seems like every year I'm trying to remember what I did to get some of the good content that I had the year prior, um, and being that I was out of my surroundings last school year. The lesson plan that I was given through inspiration, God gave me inspiration on how to plan my lessons out. I didn't get to work through it enough to become acclimated with it. So I'm trying to become reacclimated with what I was given because I believe it was a very, very good plan. Um, let's see if I have something here. I said I would talk about it next time I found it. And I do, I have one here. And what I was looking at, what I was doing years prior was like with the book, I would just go through the book every day and just work through the book, eat for each day. And then I found when I didn't have a book next year to work with, I was using more internet, pulling up lessons, free worksheets on those websites. And those are all great. But I really felt like I needed a book, to work out of so that I would know what they would need to learn from, section to section, lesson to lesson, semester, going, progressing so I can make sure that they get everything that they need to learn. That's why I was so, hard on myself and hard on feeling like I needed a book, because I wanted to be sure that I was making sure they were getting all the concepts that they needed to get instead of me looking it up, finding it, looking it up, uh, researching what all does a fourth grader need to know, what does a third grader need to know. By the end of the year, it's a real sucky way to have to, do lessons, and so I mean I didn't have the book, so I was like, Lord, what do I do? And so first, I used this template that it was a week's worth of work for each subject, Monday through Friday. And you can imagine me having to fill this sheet out for 5 children every week, different grades for all these different subjects. And I mean, it's just a whole lot when you have different grades and so many different grades at that. And so I was banging my head up against the wall because I would have 1 or 2 students that would do the week sheets consistently. I would have 1 or 2 students that would, turn in their work on time. I would not require them to turn everything in after they do it. They could have, held everything they did for each subject until the end of the week, Friday. And that's what I would require is at least by Friday have everything turned in. But if they wanted to turn the things in early, they had the choice to. It was a good sheet, but not for the amount of children that I have and the different grades. If they were all in the same grades, it'd be pretty much easy. I could duplicate everything, but that being that they're not, I have to come up with things for their grade level, which makes it a whole lot more complex. So I was praying and my spirit was very, very, very low. I was like, God, You have to help me find something because found myself. I was saying week sheets in my sleep. Where's the week sheet? Where's the week sheet? Where's the week sheet? In my sleep, I was saying it so much to them, and so by the end of the year 2017, I said, well, this was around January, going into the new year. Um, I was praying and praying, and I sat down and I started writing out some stuff. I just was hearing stuff and I was writing it down, like do it like this, do it like that. And so I said, okay, all right, I see you, Lord, I see you. So pretty much this is the week sheet here. Let me see. I'm gonna sit this door like this here. I'm in new surroundings, so forgive me. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And this is a month plan at a glance, pretty much. This was beautiful, and I'm going to tell you how it is written out. Okay, so Monday through Friday, I like to start the day with them doing something routine. You know, you have to come in the morning. So what I ask for you in the morning, I want some quiet time. So if I have to on off the cup plan something for the day, or get something planned because I didn't have time, or whatever the case is, or I just need a moment to relax, relate, release. In the morning, they have to read 30 minutes every day, Monday through Friday, any book of their grade level. And then they would have to write a summary afterwards. And then it says do a practice cursive sheet. They could do a worksheet or they could write a paragraph. However they do the practice, I just wanted them to practice their writing. And this is for fifth grade. So my fifth grader, I was having him to practice his cursive. Or if they need to practice their, handwriting, whatever the case is. Then I have a Bible challenge where they were either going to look on YouTube, or from the Bible, they pick a character that they want to learn about, and they have to write down the chapter where the character came from, like if it was about Joseph, if it's about Jesus, if it's about Elijah, if it's about Daniel, if it's about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Well, whoever they learn about, they have to get the book and the chapter and tell me the main points about what they learned in that reading. So that's what they would do for the first part of the day. And everybody's doing this on one accord, so everybody is quiet in the room. Then it says on his Monday Math Madness, this is how it is for the month. It's about 4 weeks in a month. So 1 week, I wanted him to pick a lesson in which he would have to practice concepts. And then by the end of the 4 weeks, you would get a quiz on it. So the concepts that he would have to practice would be for this whole month would be integers, decimals, averages, exponents, word problems, and percents. So he would take this whole month, 4 weeks, and you pick a sheet. Well, I guess it would have to be 4 lessons. But however fast or slow they're learning, you go to that pace, because it might not take them all day to learn about integers or average or percents. So you just go according to their strengths and how fast they learn. And so they have to get a worksheet containing whatever subject, the integers, decimals, average, exponents, or word problems or percents, whatever. He have to come to me, and I would have those worksheets ready for him. Or if you have a book, you have that ready, that lesson ready for them, and then they go at it. And then for that whole, time, they are learning that concept. And I figured that was, for me, the way I was having to do it with no books, that was giving me a topic, at least, that I know that we have to cover this topic, and then they're mastering these concepts, then I know we can move on to the next thing. It's like it took us a while for him to master multiplication, but now that I had to let him see that you don't want to get stuck just doing one thing, because then that holds you back from learning everything else you need to know, and that puts you further behind. So he finally got the gist on that, and now we're past the multiplication and we're doing other things. Yesterday was a great day, and I'll tell you a little bit about that after I finish this. I'm going to stay on topic here. Then it says Tuesday English Tea. Easy Grammar, they have a book entitled Easy Grammar, or if I have worksheets to print out from K through 12, because they have K through 12 website has everything on there concerning your English, reading comprehension, topics, comparison, facts, opinion, all kind of English topics on there. So that's a good place to go if you look for worksheets. And I wanted him to master the concepts for this month, structuring sentences properly, work on neater handwriting, and memorizing your helping verbs. So he would have to master those concepts by the end of the month. Then you just move on, to whatever. If they're learning quicker, you can add something to it, or stay where you're at until they master the concepts. Wednesdays, Wacky Science and Home Economics. So they would have to read from their science book on Science Day, Wednesday, read from the Exploring Creation series, and do the workbook. And so we have an actual science book, and then they have the workbook. And if I was letting all of them work out of a book, I wouldn't let anyone write in there. I would have to print off the pages so everyone could do the assignment separately. Refer to textbook schedule for the pages to read. Learn a home skill, and that's for home economics on Wednesday. Prep or cook day. So that was something I would want them to do. Learning home economics takes, taking them in the kitchen, teaching them how to properly use a knife, how to measure anything cooking wise that you can teach them. Or if they're learning how to iron shirts or pants, learning how to cleaning up properly. I gave them the steps on how to properly clean the restroom, because you don't want to have any wipe down anything that could contaminate something else. Like, you don't want to wipe the toilet first and then go and clean your counters or your tub, because that's disgusting. So yeah, you have to go over these steps with them so that they know how to properly do these things. So when they're grown, they won't be nasty, right? Right. That's the whole point. So for Wacky Wednesday, Science and Home Economics, I wanted them to master the concepts of food pyramid. So we would have to have some type of worksheet dealing with the food pyramid. Learn, is it an insect or mammal? And prepare a correct amount of oatmeal. So, things like that. You want them to be self-sufficient. And a lot of times, when mommy's doing everything for you, you become complacent. But when you are a growing student, pupil, person, you have to learn skills. And it's something as simple as making oatmeal. Okay, so on Thursday, he had me doing history on Thursdays. It's just all history. Alternate between read from The Land I Love, and that's a world history book, and it's Christian based, or EP Bible. EP is easy peasy. We love the easy peasy homeschool all-in-one website. It's free for everyone who wants to use it. If you're looking for something to supplement, easy peasy is the way to go. It's great. It has everything on there. Or the 1 Week with Jesus book, and that came from the Easy Peasy also. And I downloaded it and then copied it off. And that's a good book to just read and then reflect and journal from. And then I wanted them to learn for this month. They had to memorize Psalms 91 in its entirety. And then they would have a quiz on the date that I scheduled. and then quiz on the New Testament. So they would have to learn the books of the Bible concerning the New Testaments, and they would be quizzed on the date that I had scheduled. Also, they would have typing practice on Thursdays. I have to really get my typing and computer work scheduled for them for different days, because I only have at the time, well, I have a couple now, but at the time I'm only working with one computer or one laptop. So then that becomes really a headache. So we're thanking God for providing everything we need technology wise. We have a couple of iPads and tablets, and we have a couple of computers now. So things are coming. Okay, I named this day Freaky Friday, but I think I'm gonna change it to Fabulous Friday. I don't know. Foreign language for Friday, vocabulary work, get to know a Black inventor, or educational video day. So that's a pretty easy day, except for the foreign language, because that's kind of strenuous trying to learn a different language. But that's what I would have for Fridays, which is pretty laid back, lax day. Textbook, test, quiz schedule. It says math. Ask for help on things you do not know how to do. Follow our directions. So it says week 1, you'd have a worksheet or Khan Academy notes for math. Let's see. I can turn to the next page. Week 2, it says worksheets, Khan Academy notes. Week 3 and week 4. So all these weeks, different weeks, he'd have a worksheet for those different concepts. Remember that we were supposed to learn. And this is pretty straightforward, dry cut way of planning. It's pretty easy. World history or history, week 1 through 4. I'd have the pages planned out, pre-planned out on here. Read page 54 through 55. The next week, it will go into the check. It says read page 56, read and complete the checkup. So those chapters in the World History book are pretty long. So you can read 1 or 2 pages and still be in lesson 1. So, from week to week, it's pretty much scheduled in the right way. So you just schedule according to how much you want them to get done in that 1 week, and then move forward according to that. And then week 3, it says read page 57 through 59, and week 4, and this is kind of giving them a way to absorb the information, to having to do it this way, to where they're not just going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. They're kind of absorbing things. But again, you have to do things according to your schedule, according to your homeschool year, to make sure that they are getting in all the lessons that you have to. But this was just the way I had to come up with it, because again, I didn't have books, and we had something to do, for every day and for every week. I just wanted to be able to have something planned ahead for the whole month. And then it says week 4, complete checkup and complete chapter review, and then memory scripture test. So that test I had told them I wanted them to do concerning the memorizing Psalms 91. It's telling me on this work schedule what day the test is, and so on and so forth concerning science and English, just plan the pages per week. However, that's the slow you're going in your books, so that you can have your, your month planned out pretty. It's mapped out. That was pretty genius the way the Lord did that. I love this month plan. Test schedule. So I had a test schedule in here for a vocabulary test, was on a certain day. You people, I wanted to have that done by a certain day, and that's a rap Um, our Lord inspired me. I was at the kitchen sink and he gave me a hook, and I had the kids to, do rhyming by creating this rap song for my YouTube page so that I would have a intro song. And they did that, and all we're doing now is we're waiting on the song. I had my Daniel to find music for it for back then, and the girls got all their little singing parts down, and we got the rappers ready to rap. So all we got to do is do that song. That song is waiting on us. I had Spanish test, and I had memory verse test, the math test. So most of these tests were going to be over what they learned within those 4 weeks. Um, this month's focus, I didn't realize I had that on there. It's pretty faded, but it's there. Presentation. So we were working on presentations and how to give presentations, how to be good listeners during the presentation. Black History Month, because it was January. Finishing what you start, no procrastination. That was just a topic subject that we might have talked about and we did talk about it for that time. And so I love that. I think I'm going to definitely use that schedule. Use the schedule. I'm going to recreate it for this year to make it appropriate for this school year. Right now, I'm working on lesson plans. Week 1 of school went great. It went great, great, great. So I have a whole week's worth of school that we did. Yesterday, we were on YouTube and we looked at several different math videos, and they were learning about fractions, adding, subtracting fractions, multiplying and dividing fractions, and improper fractions, and converting mixed fractions into an improper fraction and improper into fractions. So they did a wonderful job on that yesterday. They took lots of notes. I let them try on their uniforms. I wanted to have uniforms like ever since I thought about it, which was like the first year of school that we started homeschooling. And I said I wanted to do royal purple, like really dark purple, and black pants or khaki. Didn't have the color I wanted at the Walmart that I went to, so I kind of just mixed it up. I gave my 2 younger girls pink, and one has khaki pants and the other one has black. And I did my 2 older girls, they have purple polo shirts, and one has black and the other has khaki pants. So it kind of it's still uniform. It's cute and they love it. I'm so glad that they love their uniforms. They of course have their opinions about uniforms. They don't really want to have to wear them, but I had to let them know that I didn't like to have to wear uniforms or even want them to wear uniforms when they went to school, but it's just an easier way to know what you have to wear every day. And then you have to come in presentable, iron your clothes, make sure everything looks proper. And it gives them a sense of I have to get up and get ready for school instead of I have to get up and I'm in my pajamas and I'm going to take my blanket downstairs. So I'm trying to build leadership skills in them. I'm trying to build an awareness of how to be prepared. And it's beautiful. They love the uniforms. And I got the boys khaki pants, shorts, and navy blue shorts, and they have black polo tops. Of course, my boys are so difficult when it comes to doing anything. But that's okay. They have no choice. They have no choice. And so I just thank God that we have uniforms. That is a blessing. That is a blessing. That's something that's marked off my list. And I'll just be, when they have them on sale, just add to the collection to where they can, it can be fun for them. I told the girls, you can just accessorize your uniforms. If you have on a certain color, just get all kind of different hair bows to match your shirts and bracelets and earrings and stuff like that. Make it cute. Make it your own. So the other thing I'm working on today is my file system. I got some files. So the first year, of course, like I said, I would have everything done by now if we were in a perfect world, but it's realistic. So things come when they come, and when they come, I just thank the Lord for it. So right now, these files are put together, and they have documentation on the child's application for the school. Their application for being in the school. It will have their formal withdrawal forms in there once I get those back, and in the other file, it has their documentation for any tests or assessments that they take, because I want to make sure I keep everything separate. Anything important, put it in a file. All the schoolwork, I just put in a box until I can get me a different type of file situation, or if I just keep it like that. I probably won't, because boxes and things can be very detrimental when water's around. So I might find something that's a little bit more less likely to damage my papers. But until then, they're in a box, put away, out of sight, out of mind, to where they're not, cluttering up my class. So at least I, know, this is all of 2015, all 2017, 18, whatever the case is. So now I'm going to be working on planning for this upcoming week. And I already have a plan. I thank God. Like I said, I was up watching videos, inspirational videos about how to be effective, how to be an effective teacher, because I don't want my children to ever just be, bored or feeling like, what are we doing? I want them to feel like they are actually accomplishing things. They feel good about themselves, and that they know that their mother is doing all that she can to be and provide the best education for them as possible. And so that's my goal. My goal is just making sure they reach the stars, whatever they want to do or want to be, that they can get there. Of course, it's my heart's desire that they can test into college type courses early, and I believe they all have the capability of doing so. It's just us working and getting them up to where they need to be from things that happen in life. So pretty much this is a no excuse zone for me this year. Everything has to be done, and be done accordingly and in decency and in order, so that I can make sure that if anybody ever comes, all I have to do is, here it is, here's their papers, here's their grade cards, here's their this, here's their that. So that's what I'm working on now. By Tuesday, I should be able to show you a completed grade card for the years past and this current year that they just finished. So that's my goal that I'm working on right now, is getting grade cards up to par and completed, and putting any tests that I find in this box of work that they did last year into their file folders. So that's what I'm working on right now. It's nothing too strenuous except for the grade card part, and that's really not all that bad. I just need to sit down to do it because I have so many students, so many grades. But this week coming up, Master Concepts, pretty much I'm going to give them things to study for this week. For Friday, they will have a quiz, because we've been in school a whole week, and pretty much I was taking math assessments, and then they were using their full book curriculum. And for my 6th and 7th grader, they're going to be working with place value, adding fractions, subtracting fractions. I don't know if I'm going to add anything else in there. They'll take a quiz over that Friday. They're very excited because after I had them take all the notes, then I had them, okay, now you teach me, what did you learn? And so I could make sure that they were actually paying attention and understood what they were learning. English, I'm going to give them a spelling list for Monday, and they're going to end up quizzing over their spelling list, and then quizzing over their proofreading chart, because you have to know the marks that you need to make for when you're doing your writing. So it's going to be a little tiny quiz. It's nothing too major. Social studies, I have to find something for that I'm going to have them go over, whatever we learn about. And same thing for the rest of them. I'm going to find out what I'm going to have my fourth and second grader take a math test over. They're going to get a spelling list. And my kindergartner, she is going to test over knowing 1 through 20, maybe verbal, whatever the case is, however I decide to do it. She's not quite yet writing yet. She can write the letter A by herself. But she's going to get up to par. She is learning sight words. It is see, ask me, no. And I teach that to her. She learns best a lot of times by singing and, learning things in a musical way. So whatever works is the way that we'll use it. And I'm going to have her learn to count backwards. She will also take a test over nouns and verbs because she's pretty good at doing that book work she's doing, which is the first grade level. She's in kindergarten. So, I go through, I read it for her, and I ask the questions and she answers it. And then I just, dot to dot, and then she goes in and writes in herself. So I'm so proud of her, so very proud of her. She's doing very well. This is very exciting. It's very exciting for me. All my children are in school. OMG. I made it to the mountaintop, and guess what? I can't even send them to school. Ain't that something? No, but it's okay. It's okay. They're with me and they're safe, and that's all that matters. So, okay, I'm signing off. That's pretty much the agenda for today. And yeah, it's been real. We're out.